Okay, we're just starting to put primer on right there. I figured I'd just get a quick clip of it. I'll get the clip of the rest, so it's all dry. You guys already saw that. It's all dry. What am I saying? It's all dry. I'm saying it's all ready to go. It's just the one coat primed. So I got one coat and I got prime. So I'm gonna prime that, and then I'm gonna one coat the white, and that's really it. Try to get something for that. Okay, my lens protector, my lens cover protectors or whatever for this iPhone are actually pretty cooked. So they're not like smashed, they're just so scratched that they're practically cracked, if that makes sense. So yeah, the scratches are so severe that they're almost a split, but they're not a split yet. Anyways, I gotta try to do something about them here soon, at least one of them for sure. Anyways, that's that. That's all. That's 2 coats of white on all the bottom. On the door, same 2 coats. That though, we did 1 coat primer, 2 coats white. No, down here I never got. So I'm gonna finish that real quick. That'll do it. I also got the side here, 2 coats on that one, or at least 1 coat on the side. Never did get the cap piece. I got the whites right here. So I would like to caulk, but honestly I won't. Now there's the one little fudge there, letting it dry, and then I'll go over it. I got a little bit of that board. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I bent the metal over, painted the metal. I might do 1 more coat tomorrow. I don't know. I probably used a half a gallon of white, finished white. You can't really see if you walk back. You got that big staircase in there. So that's gonna do it. I gotta go clean this iPhone up, man. I got paint on the actual touchscreen part. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna leave it with that. That's it for tonight. I got that little touch up there as well. I'll take that ladder down, put these couple things away, but that's gonna do it for tonight, y'all. I know it's not like amazing or anything, and that's not really the point of me vlogging this, and it's just to kind of just show you where it ended up, and just, hey, you know, that it got finished. So we painted that little section, and I'll end up painting the other side, but I'll save that for another day. Not the best, you know, work, but this is good. So we still got to do a bit of caulking, and that'll make things a little more tied together a bit better, but that's where we're stopping. Okay, we're running the sub pump. We're gonna pump like half of it out. Here it is. Doesn't look dirty, but still, you gotta do it every 6 months. It's been 8, so it's 2 months past due. You don't wanna know what happens if you go any longer. Well, I'll tell you, a fungal rash will appear on pretty much anyone who would try to do that. I know places that try to drain half and just add it with a bunch of chlorine, but even then, that's really not safe. So your best bet is just drain it back into the ground, and then it gets refiltered into the ground over time, and eventually you get some of that water back. Okay, it was up to, you see that silver thing there? It was like halfway up on it, so you know, you get an inch a minute or something. Maybe 2 inches a minute. But anyways, I'm documenting it because I'll forget. So this is about the last day of May 2025. So 6 months out would be June, July, August, September, October, November. About the end of November for sure. So no later than the end of December. So I might write it down right there. That's the switch. So you flip that off. Everything's off to it. Drain it, clean it, add water, turn it back on. Then it heats up. Takes a few days to heat up, but it is what it is, man. It's very important that you drain it, like I said, twice a year, once every 6 months, and you'll be safe. So we'll let it drain, like I said, halfway. We'll get it down to the bottom. And once I go down into there, then we'll go into that pool. And if I gotta stop because it's too much, then I will. So, 'cause we really only need a couple inches in this pool. If that, yeah, 2 inches, so. I don't know, maybe more like just 1/3 we'll put in it. That's where we're at. I moved it down to the bottom there, so I'll have to climb in there. Once it gets below, down past that last step, I'll get down in there with a shovel and a broom. So I'm gonna go get that, and I'm gonna go get some buckets, 2 buckets. One from there to pour into a bucket to there, to dump into there. We're putting the rest of it in. It's about half of it. So you can see right there, we'll probably go to the top of that. Next thing is that hose. I got that hose, it's all hooked up. She is on. I probably will end up readjusting it. And it'll be a little shorter if I can just move it over a little bit. So I'll do that, but look how much has gone up. So it's almost completely covered it, not quite yet. We'll be able to drain the rest of it into it, no problem. Things are looking up here. Almost got that step down, then I can get in there and shovel the rest of it into it. When those lights flicker, if anyone's like just forgets, that just means the bulb's about at the end of its life and it needs to get replaced. So it'll do that and then it'll kick on, and it'll do that for a couple months before it blows. So yeah, it's pretty routine, you know, I just go through the process and that's really it. So it's filling up currently as I'm making this vlog. It's all done, so I want to go ahead and show you guys just how it looks now. Sub pump out, here's our bucket. We see how we got it with water in it. First one we'll get rid of because it has like trash in it. We'll just dump it in the field. Little cup into that one, that into that into the pool. Like we said, after the first couple I'll dump into the field to get rid of like that little bit of like sediment from staining and whatnot that finally came free. Down there, that's what we're left with. So what happens is it'll only go so far, and it doesn't matter if you keep pushing the water into it, it won't get that clean suction, and that's what it takes to get it straight up out. It would be different if it was like going down and gravity was helping, but it's going against gravity. So if it has air in it, it'll just keep gurgling right there, and little to none will actually get out over into the hose. Anyways, so that means the last little bit gets baled. I would say, roughly, if I remember, it's about 50 gallons. It's deceiving. So that would be 10 of these buckets. Could be 20. We'll see. So I never can get full buckets, so it's like 4 gallons at a time. And this is how much it raised it. The perfect amount. So that's right where we want it. I personally would say right at the top is like perfect. So we could have put a little more in, and you can see over here, we could have put a little more in and we would have been all right, but we didn't. So I'm so happy. Like there's nothing more satisfying than fresh spa water. That's like the most satisfying thing. So we'll bail it out. I don't know if you can actually see where I started to like take some of the stain off. Some will come off, some won't, but we go around the perimeter and try to get the stain off as best we can. I might try scrub brushes this time. And then when I'm at it, once I have it fully drained at the bottom, I like to soak the whole bottom in like a bleach layer. I might try vinegar, to be honest. But anyways, we'll let it soak. I usually will take a shot back to it, but I probably won't this time. I'll just wipe it free. Okay, this is where we're at right now. So I don't know if you can see, but it's just the perimeter now. And that was about 4 loads, but anyways. So I'm gonna just get the rest out. But yeah, it was probably somewhere like 50 gallons was left, roughly, maybe 60 at most. But anyways, once we do that, then I'm gonna soak the bottom in, like I said, like that bleach solution. Go around here, get the stain off. You can kind of see where some of it came off and some didn't. So anyways, we'll see what we can do. And like I said, try to wipe down every square inch. Also try to wipe this down, get all the dirt out. It's tedious, but it's well worth it. And then what always happens is you get the fresh water in, it's all clear. And then when you turn it back on, in the jets will be a little bit dirty water with some sediment. And it will most definitely start all over again with sediment. That's just the way it is, but at least it's new for the most part. So, is what it is. Got to do it. The fresh water is what we're after. Okay, just like that, it's all done. As you can see, still a little bit of water in each corner. So the rest will get wiped out. I might try to get a little more out, but you can't really get much. So anyways, now we get the remainder out and the dirt. Whatever it takes, if it takes a whole roll of paper towels, whatever it takes, dude. So this time when I do it, I'm gonna try to get all in here. I see there's like a little bit of sediment. Then we'll soak the mat and everything. I'm gonna do that. Okay, I'm probably just gonna leave it there and start filling it up. It's definitely not perfect, but it's pretty close. I could get in there with a shot vac, but it really doesn't matter how perfect you get it because underneath the liner and shit, there's little bits of dirt. And like I said, in the jets, they'll be in the jet lines inside of it and the walls of this spa, there's gonna be a little bit of debris as well. It is what it is, but that's pretty good. I coat the bottom with vinegar. I might do bleach, but honestly, that's probably just good doing it like that. Yeah, like I said, just swapping the water out is the huge part. We will, treat the bottom and then we'll start filling up. This time we'll have the cover on it so it cannot shoot out on that thing again on us. That was absolutely terrifying. But yeah, look at that, the bottom's almost filled. We will let it be, let it be, let it be. Yo, this is the next day. It's raining like cats and dogs. Not bad, almost up to the second step there. We got a lot of rain, but I couldn't just keep postponing it. Like, you don't want to go much past 6 months, and we are already at 8 months. Let's admire the stain work, dude. That took me forever to stain all this. I plan to do the same in that other apartment above the garage or whatever, second floor above the garage. Tongue and groove, this stuff, pine, stain. Maybe we'll go a different shade, like do a dark stain and then do the clear coat. This is what the stain looks like, that min wax stuff. Polyurethane. That's all we put on it. Probably like at least a few coats. At least 3-4 coats, I would say, on average. Some spots more. You can tell, like I started right there. You can tell where I started. I can. You might not be able to pick it up on film. But, and I don't have any lights on. That's not really doing us any good in here. There's the lights. Anyways, it's pretty. That wall was existing. That was the outside wall. There's a massive beam, I-beam. It looks like an eye. Never did get capped. Just left it exposed. So that stuff's actually almost dried down there. It's almost dry, so I'm gonna leave it. It's probably hard to tell, but that hose, it got painted. The reds from the porch, it almost matches. You can see where it snakes around right there and kind of just disappears behind the bush. That's the other one. It got painted. I painted that one. I got a picture up top on the porch. I painted it. It goes all the way to like that radius you can barely see there poking through. Yeah, here's that pic. But yeah, that's all it really was, man. It's slow though, because you have to do 2 coats primer and then 2 coats finish, so you end up painting it 4 times. But yeah, we're heading up to the above there to work on those skylights. See, we got Crocs, so let's go the path of least resistance. Path that's not gonna get my feet all dirty. Let's get in there. We're not gonna. Let's show you guys this. Okay, it's dry. So before, when it would rain, at least right there would be wet no matter what, and it wouldn't dry out until the earth dried out. And that's that. So that's really satisfying. I'm gonna keep working on above, and we are gonna get this baby all in. Now, you like that little shutter door I made for the meantime? That's what we, I just grabbed whatever we had lying around. That's what got used. Anyways, we're gonna keep moving forward. So we have under there more wood. We don't want it to get aged by the sun, so we have it covered with the tarp. So you can kind of see the fresher looking one up there in the rafters. So there's one that's doubled. There's the other that's doubled. All we're gonna do is notch out in the center. The skylights that to that. Okay, they're small skylights. It's one on each side. So I'm gonna focus on this one right now. We gotta cut it out, top, bottom. Put a doubled header going from each way. It's only like 30 and a half inches or something. So let's get to it. I'm gonna get some lights. All right, y'all. Try not to weeble wobble set up too bad. We got our linear. We gotta cut it, and we gotta cut it down there, and then put 2 boards and 2 boards. Pretty easy. Someone marked it for me, so it's like brainless work here. I'm just cutting a line. Okay, we want to score it. Okay, I like to go back and forth like this, man. We got another line over here, of course. Dude, let's get a fresh blade. Freshy. To the cloud of dust. Every time I move, fam. Ah! Ah, come on, boy. You know, I never did show it, but I ended up cutting down a blade again, maybe to like 1/3 of its full length, and then using that, and it really helped to cut out these, like notching them out for the skylights. Okay, you don't want your blade to get crazy hot because it will stop cutting. That's almost all the way through. Alright, you guys get the pick. That's what we're dealing with. So you can see, you can't see, on this side you can see, or just that little bit, dude, you couldn't reach anything in there to get it cut. So it fractured it off. So anyways, did that on both. Luckily on this one it was this way and not this way. This one's staying, this is obviously going. So it is what it is, it's a moot point. So we'll get that out the rest of the way. And then we can start framing up this skylight. Just for safety, I'm gonna cut these out while I'm working in here so I don't bob my head on it. We'll neaten that up and then we'll get a measurement and go across. Now I notice we'll have to take out, fuck, I hit my head on that. I notice we'll have to take out this 2x here. You don't even wanna know why it's there, so, and it don't matter, it really don't matter. Now if I wanted to, I could slap another one up here and have it be another 1.5 inches in each way on this skylight, but it's really up to us, the builders. So let's keep going. Okay, 2x is gone. There's our 2x, our true by. Get rid of those nails. Now we're ready for our measurement. Boom, pop in the last one. We cleared everything up here. Any little pokes, nails like that or anything, we got rid of. Let's keep moving. There's our first one. We'll do the next one. Would you guys use this to save a few feet of lumber with the splice in it to go up in the skylight? Or would you just go with the full two pieces? Let me know in the comments what you would do. I think I'm gonna go the second route with 2 full pieces just to be safe. Just because it's so structural. But again, it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. It would be fine. I know it would be, but especially with the hangers, but it ain't no thing. Okay, we got that side in. So that's that. We still got to put one more there and one more there. So anyways, it's just got one screw in it and one screw in the other one for now. Okay, that's that. We got it all tapped in. I'll screw it in, and basically I'm going to try to squeeze. This one's a little funk kicked out. It's worse down the line. But anyways, we're just going to try to funk bring it in, but at the end of the day, it's not as huge as you think, but it's going to be an easy task. I got a clamp, and anyways, you'll see. Okay, so just in construction in general, you'll get that all the time, where like a batch of lumber, let's say it's a 2x12, that's what those are. Okay, 11 1/8 would be a normal one. And then this one's 11 1/4, sometimes almost 3/8. That's a big difference. Point being is they won't match up perfectly. So what you end up having to do is basically cut the remainder off. So what I did was take that planer and just planed the rest of it off, that little 1/8 of an inch or whatever it was. And now I already put the hanger. These things are your friend. So you get it where you want it, and you tack that in, and it'll hold it for you. Then you can zip your screws in. You know, one side's cool, but then the other side, you do what I just said, then screw it in. So we got one more hanger to throw in on that side, then we'll do the same over here. But I gotta stop I'm all out of fluids, and I gotta get a broom up here, dude. It's just too messy of a site for my liking. So I will get the shop vac up here. Back it all too. That's just from that little bit of carpentry I did. Actually, that's not true. So I really like those hangers on there. And then I have like some L's. I have some plates for where it's doubled. You'll see. We'll end up doing it up there on this side and that bay. But yeah, that's that. It's coming together. Like we said, all the things we said, all the things you said, running through my head. No, just kidding. That's from 2005. But yeah, that's that. And that's what this will be next. We'll do the same thing. So, oh, and then of course I took like a 4.5 lag, drilled it out, came down to the bottom, just one, and pulled that whole thing straight because it was kicked out. So now it's straighter. And then I even zipped one in there, pulled it in a little, but it really only went in so much. So it is what it is, fam. This is coming along. We've made some headway. Now we earned a break for some fuel, water, and a snack. Okay, that's pretty cool. So it's up there to the second one. So it was down there. So it went up that step and that step. That's pretty sweet. We will let it keep filling. And luckily it's raining cats and dogs outside, so we do not have to worry about the well running dry. If it was a drought, that would actually be a concern. You know, you wouldn't want to fill up that whole thing in one run. But as you can see, we got plenty of rain. So, gotta love it. So this is the reality of like, this board's been kicking around for a while, this one. And it definitely wasn't on like the perfect setup. And so it got a little bend and bow in it. So now I screwed it in all the way to about here. Okay, we notched out for that because I had so many nails that way and from this board that way. And it's glued. So the other ones I did manage to get off. That one, for whatever reason, just didn't want to go. Anyways, I put a block right here that screws into that. Just one screw. Put the clamp on it. You can hear that? Oh, that fucker popped, man. I should have left it, but I had to be a little showy. Let me get it back in position, then I'll show you. See how much she bows out now? That's like almost a whole finger. A finger. Let me get it back in play. All right, fam. So that's what we did. Back over here. She ain't perf, but we got it up some. So anyways, we sunk a screw in her, and that's that. We'll leave it there. All right, that's where we'll be at, y'all. You see that gaper? That's what it was down there too. It was worse. But I pulled it in with that screw, just like on the other one, same thing. So when I did, that corner went bump, and it bumped down. So I guess it had no choice. So anyways, I'll probably end up leaving it. I'll see what I can do, get it up further after. But first, let's get this one in. We already drilled the hole. Let's send it. Okay, we got it snugged up a little bit. And I could keep going, but I stopped because, again, this corner popped right out. So it popped out that much because I had no choice, you know. And it wasn't screwed in over here again, you know. I only had it screwed into here. I don't know if it would have changed anything if I would have angled it, but I'm going to try to get a jack, like a floor jack, and a 4x4 post or something, a 2x anything. Butt it up there, jack that up, screw it in. I'll probably get a hanger on this side though in the meantime. Okay, real quick. So that's how we did it. So like I said, it had popped out. So we grabbed the mini floor jack. I like that lightweight one. That weighs about 30 pounds. Nice 2x. I know you can put a 2x like that and tap it, but I like to do that method better. It goes straight. Whereas the other way, it's kind of hit or miss. I drilled for it on that side. Now I'm going to zip them in right here. I'll zip them, and that's that. Okay, gotta get the right one. Just need one more on. That's that. What's up? I accidentally hit that bad cat while I was weed whacking. It's a baby. Yeah, this is an old clip from a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to just throw it in to make like an outro clip and just let you know that, yeah, it kind of just abruptly stops there. And that's just kind of where I stopped filming and working for the day. And yeah, that's going to be the end of the episode. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the vid. Leave a comment. Thank you guys so much for being you. Stay tuned. There'll definitely be more. And the skylights will definitely keep going. Oh, and I thought this guy died, but then when I took a pic, then sent the pic to like a group chat of mine, and when I turned back around and looked, the guy was gone, or the little guy